Wyoming Territory, early spring of 1879. The wind was bitter, the sky low and gray, and Peter Zayn was riding toward the Cheyenne Stage Depot. He had paid $5 for a bride he had never met. The ad had promised a respectable woman, 21, no family willing to relocate, knows how to cook, clean, tend a home. He had wired the money a month ago, then worked the land, buried his past losses, and kept going. He didn't expect Geneva to step off the stage looking like she did. Her brown cotton dress was faded but clean, and her hair pinned tightly. But she had steady eyes that found him in the crowd. "You Peter Zayn?" she asked. "I am," he replied. "You must be Geneva." She nodded and allowed him to take her to carpetbags. They moved in silence to his wagon. It wasn't as awkward as he expected. When she asked about the land and animals, he told her more than he meant to about the drought, the cows he had buried, the letters from the bank he ignored. They reached his farm, and he helped her down. "I have a spare room," he said. She responded, "You paid $5 for a wife, not a house guest." He blinked, "But I agreed to marry, so let's marry." And they did. The ceremony was quick, no guests or flowers, just a signature. Afterward, Geneva cooked cornbread and beans. She said, "I'm not looking to replace anyone." He told her about his wife Clara, who had died 2 years ago. "I'm not, Clara," Geneva said, "but I don't give up easy." Days passed. Geneva worked hard. She mended the roof, helped birth a calf, and even chased off a coyote. She never talked about her past. Sometimes Peter heard her crying through the wall, but didn't ask. Then came Henry and Hope, 2 children found on the edge of the north pasture. They were cold, hungry, and silent. The boy, Henry, said their father had left and their mother had died. "You too, alone?" Peter asked. Henry nodded. They walked all the way from Casper, looking for work. Geneva didn't ask questions, just fed them and rubbed their hands to warmth. "They can stay," she said. That night, Geneva told Peter she had left home, not been abandoned. Her father drank, and her mother begged her to run before he sold her off. She had sent money, but stopped hearing from them. One spring day, Peter came in late, hurt from work. Geneva noticed and silently cared for his knee, wrapping it with a cloth. They didn't speak much, but Peter saw her pain and resilience. "You always know what to do," he said. "I've known hurt," she replied. Later, she asked if he'd ever thought about leaving. "Used to," he said. "Now I'm glad I stayed. By my betrayal, the fields needed work." Geneva and Peter worked side by side. They planted sunflowers by the porch for Hope to watch the bees. Slowly, they built something together. The barn roof leaked one June storm, and when Peter tried to stop her from fixing it, Geneva just smiled. "Then catch me if I fall," she said. He did. The family grew closer. Peter noticed Henry's pride and steadiness. One morning, Geneva confessed, "I didn't come here to be saved. I came because I was strong enough to start again. But this is grace." Peter leaned close, saying, "You gave me that too." Weeks passed, and Geneva's belly began to show her pregnancy. The children helped more. Henry became stronger, taking over tasks Peter once did. One October night, the baby came jealous. Geneva held him close, tears slipping down her face. Time moved forward. Geneva worked on quilts, Peter carved furniture. Their days were filled with life, and their home felt full. Hope started sleeping by Geneva, and Henry was always close by. Peter, too, felt a deep sense of belonging. He never thought he would have this again. One morning, as they stood at the edge of their field, watching the barley wave, Geneva turned to Peter and said, "You're the first place I ever belonged." Peter answered, "You're the only home I ever needed." And so they built something real together, a home from trust, time, and love. The land became theirs, just as their family had, piece by piece, from the hard-earned $5 to the sunflowers that bloomed by the porch. They stayed that way, hand in hand, with the horizon wide with promise.